What happens when the party that promised integrity becomes the face of surveillance? When the opposition, sworn to protect liberties, starts whispering in boardrooms about tracking citizen spending. You get a political catastrophe disguised as strategy, a betrayal so profound it doesn't just shake trust, it pulverizes it. Keir Starmer's Labour Party has crossed a line. Not quietly, not subtly, but with arrogance, calculation, and a complete underestimation of how much the public still values basic civil rights. This isn't about fraud prevention. It never was. The language of accountability and control was weaponized to mask what, in truth, was a top-down authoritarian play. The idea that the state would have access to the private financial data of citizens, specifically the most vulnerable, goes beyond incompetence. It's ideological decay. It's the terrifying normalization of state surveillance, and it should ring alarms in every household that remembers what liberty used to mean before politics became a game of optics over ethics. Let's be clear, this wasn't leaked by enemies. This wasn't fabricated by tabloid scandal chasers. The source of the truth came from within Labour's own rank and file, young staffers, disgusted by the deceit, who refused to be complicit in an Orwellian power grab. These aren't rebels. These are the conscience of the party. And what they revealed is damning. Labour approached banks with requests for data access. Not to trace terrorist money. Not to bust international fraud rings. But to monitor those on benefits. To track purchases. To police the poor. What kind of government aspires to that? What kind of party claims to be for the working class while designing tools to surveil them? And where was the leadership? Starmer hid. He ducked interviews, mouthed platitudes at a press conference, and doubled down with that cold, calculated calm that's now become his signature. But calm is not courage. Calm is not truth. Calm is not leadership when it's drenched in cowardice. At a moment when he owed the country an explanation, he offered damage control. At a moment when MPs begged for answers, he gave them silence or spin. Don't be fooled by the language of lessons learned or independent investigations. These are political fire blankets, not solutions. Everyone within the party knows the truth. This wasn't a miscommunication. It was a mission. And Starmer led it. This debacle hasn't just fractured Labour. It's gutted its moral centre. Starmer's centrism is no longer pragmatic, it's authoritarian. He doesn't just silence dissent, he punishes it. He doesn't just push policy, he buries its origin in committee rooms and denies MPs the right to scrutinise it. The rise of internal opposition, from John McDonnell to Zara Sultana, shouldn't be viewed as a leftist backlash, but as a democratic alarm bell. When 42 MPs sign a letter demanding transparency, it's not factionalism. It's desperation. And yes, the public noticed. Approval ratings have cratered. Donors are gone. Constituency support has evaporated. People don't rally behind a leader who treats their privacy as expendable. People don't elect a party that treats hardship as a reason for surveillance. Labour thought it could play tough on control and ride the populist wave. But all it proved was that it doesn't understand the British public, especially the millions who have endured austerity, job insecurity, and stigma, only to be told their bank accounts might now be subject to oversight. Starmer isn't just misfiring. He's misjudging the soul of the country. This was supposed to be the party of working people. But now, it reeks of corporate whispers and boardroom compliance. Surveillance isn't leadership. Obsession with control isn't strength. And when your own MPs begin whispering about leadership challenges, when your National Executive Committee calls emergency meetings, the writing is on the wall, the leader has lost the room. There's no salvaging this with PR. There's no healing this with a reshuffle or unity rally. Trust, once broken, doesn't bounce back. Not in a country already suspicious of power, already bruised by broken promises. The moral authority of Starmer's leadership is not just in question, it's in free fall. This should be a turning point, not just for Labour, but for British politics. If the so-called progressive alternative is willing to flirt with surveillance states and still call itself the party of the people, then we've lost the plot. Starmer must go, not as a scapegoat, but as the architect of the crisis. Leadership demands vision, courage, and conviction. What we got instead was secrecy, authoritarianism, and cowardice cloaked in competence. If Labour wants to survive, let alone win, it must rebuild from within. That means new leadership, honest policy, and a return to principles that respect freedom as much as fairness. Because right now, Labour isn't just on the wrong side of policy. It's on the wrong side of history.